Alright guys, if you'll please close your computer once you have your warm-up done and get out your journal. If you don't have a journal, grab a scratch paper.
Ready.
Hi. Alright guys, sources of income and filing status is what you're going to title this. The unit that we're going to be learning right now is going to be taxes and investments. And filing status.
Oh, filing taxes.
Yeah, there's 5 different statuses you can put on your income tax, and they all change how much you're taxed.
Income tax, that's what I'm going to do.
Or W-2?
I hate taxes.
What?
I'm gonna pay taxes and I'm not happy.
Listen, you don't pay taxes on the jar, right?
I've never tried that out. I don't know what happens. Let's find out. Just a second. Well, let's Google that and find out. Alright guys, go ahead and... Alright guys, I'm going to give you about 2 minutes. Get your talking out, because I don't want to talk over this. It's too much. Alright, you guys, let's rock and roll through this. Okay. Alright guys, give me Hector. Can you talk to your table and you guys come up with what you think is the way most people get money? Okay, it's called earned income. Okay, does that next table, Richard Lloyd and your table, can you give me another way you could earn money? So if you don't know yourself, ask your table. Investment, yeah. Manny, your table, give me way.
Stop.
Yeah, that's called capital gains.
Yeah, maybe.
Capital gains is when you sell, usually stocks and bonds. Omaru, your table, you can chat. Can you guys think of any other way? Pardon? I don't know what you're saying.
No.
You can't think of another way? Do you have a place you live? Where do you live? In a house or an apartment? Pardon? Okay, when you pay for that, you pay for that every month. What's that called? Anybody live in an apartment?
Yeah.
What do you pay every month to live there? Howard, what do you listen to right now? What's the name of an artist you like? Okay, how do they make money? Okay, there's a specific word that starts with R. Royalties.
Oh, yeah, royalties. No, okay.
No, Joe, that's not you, bro.
Alright.
Okay, royalties and licensing. This is basically artists. This is for any creator. They get money when you use their work, right? So this is when they create something that you use. Creator. Do you want me to spell it nicer? Is that nicer?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to use my nice handwriting.
You know I got bad handwriting.
You know what? I don't have good handwriting either. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be like a musician. This would be an author. You guys ever heard of patents? You guys are going to be working in industry, right? All the technology you use is patented. And when you get patents, you get money for it. How can I spell? My dad has 21 patents. No, he gets paid. So every time he gets a patent for the company that he works for, the company makes money off of that all the time, but my dad gets a one-time payment.
He gets a what?
A one-time payment. I'm trying to figure out how to spell it. Patent, invention, only one T. So, I'm not a good speller.
Oh, yeah, but I know the official phrase.
I appreciate it.
What does that say?
Which one? There's a lot of words on there.
Adventure?
Inventor, right here? Inventions. So anytime you create a new technology, it's an invention.
Oh, yeah, it is very
What's your dad invented?
So my dad worked for Boeing, so he created a whole bunch of things. I can tell you about 3 of them. Do you guys ever use, do you guys ever do woodworking?
Marisa does.
Have you ever seen where you put stuff together with dowels?
What's that one?
Okay, so there's like what's it called? Like a board, and you drill a hole.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then on the other board that you want to line up, you use a dowel, which is basically just like a pin, okay, to line it up so that they line up perfectly at that hole. Okay, now imagine a huge Boeing 747 wing, which is bigger than this classroom, and they have to line up about 37 of those holes exactly. So can you imagine the holes have to fit perfectly? So my dad invented something that's shaped like, so if this is where it needs to go, right, and you have 37 of them, it needs to be perfect. The original was shaped like this, so it has to be perfect, right? It has to be dead on. If it's a millimeter off, it'll bind and it won't go together. My dad invented something that has a round on the top so that it won't, see how if it's a little bit off, it'll make it slide into place? So he just made it so that instead of being square on the top, it has round. Make sense?
No.
Okay, well, I can explain it another day. All right, guys, there's one more that I'm going to write down. I got to find where I was looking. All right, we talked about earned income. This is just basically from a job. We talked about investments. Did you guys know that there's something called business income?
Yeah. Maybe you could try to do it.
Okay, you guys, business income is just owning a business. There's also something called interest income. You guys should know what that is. Is that when I get money for liking something, being interested in something? What is it money from?
Like basically waiting.
Basically waiting. Yeah, it's money that you're earning on as a percentage in a savings, an investment, etc. The best way to earn this is actually in the stock market. It's money you earn for letting a bank, I'm going to say etc. I'm going to put quotations because it's not really holding your money. Hold your money. Now, guys, when the bank is holding onto your money, is it just sitting there?
Yeah.
Nope. What do they do with it?
Lend it out.
They lend your money out. That's why there's a limit on how much they can lend out, and that's why there's a limit on how much you can take out on any given day.
About $40.
Now, this should be, did I get all of them? All right, we talked about earned, we talked about business, we talked about interest, we talked about dividend. We need dividend income. Okay, guys, this is a special kind of situation. Why am I still talking over people? Okay, dividend income is a special kind of stock that pays you just for holding on to it. So it's a special category of stock that pays usually quarterly for ownership. So this is the kind of stock that I would love to own. Most of it's very expensive. I don't know enough to really get into it. So far, so good?
Good.
All right. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 types of income.
That's a lot. This is very easy.
Good morning, sweetie. All right, guys. We've actually talked about these before. At least I'm pretty sure we have. Maybe I'm just having deja vu from last year. Give me 1 second. Maybe we haven't talked about it. I don't have it in the notes, so I'm just glad we wrote it down. Which one did you need me to go over?
Which one did we went over?
We definitely went over this. It just doesn't have it in our notes, so we're going to go over it again. All right, guys. Let's have a very short conversation about taxable, not taxable. Actually, let's go back. We'll do that when we do our activity. Okay. Have we ever discussed filing status?
It's like marital status and stuff.
It's a lot of it has to do with that. So we're gonna start with just one at a time. This one is what you guys are right now. You guys are single. You're gonna want to put a underline under it. I mean, I don't know. Are any of you married?
Oscar's married.
Oh, that's sad.
Why is that sad?
You're married in high school. That's sad.
That is not sad.
Maybe he was great.
Okay. Some general. Hey guys. I just went to the next page because I was out of space. See?
Bless you.
Out of space.
Bless you.
Okay. You guys, please make sure that it's readable. I'm going to be looking for it to be organized correctly when you take a picture of this turned in. If it's not organized correctly, I will tell you to fix it. So some things you need to know about filing status. They just...
Stephen, pardon this interruption. Students, I have too many cars parked out behind the back where this oversized backdoor is, back in the science area. Tomorrow, I need you to find a spot with 2 yellow lines and park in it, in our parking spot. If there's no other parking spot, you don't need to.
Friday, you must have needed to go out there and go.
Okay, things you should know. We care about on the last day of the year. Okay? So what's the last day of the year, you guys? What's the date for the last day of the year? Okay, you guys with me? Can I need to edit this. All right, guys. So single, you guys, what makes you qualify as single as opposed to head of household?
If you're not married.
Okay, not married.
Or divorced.
Okay. No dependents. So I'm single and I do not have kids, but I am. Do you guys know what a godmother is?
Yeah.
Okay, so for most of my nieces and nephews, I'm the godmother. So if their parents passed away, I would be in charge of them. So even though they're not my kids, I'd be taking care of them. So I would have dependents. Does that make sense? They don't have to be your biological if you're the one providing for them. It could be foster kids as well. Yes. Okay. It could also be if I'm not the legal guardian, but I'm the one currently paying for and taking care of them. There's been situations in a lot of families where somebody's sick and another family member's taking care of them. That also counts as dependents. Okay? Or have you guys ever, Hector? Guys, a lot of times family members will send, I know multiple families at my church that they sent their kids they're from Mexico, but they sent their kids over from Mexico to live with a family member here first. Does that make sense? Like an aunt or uncle? That aunt and uncle gets to claim all those kids as a dependent because they're paying and taking care of them. That make sense? Okay, so what's a dependent? Just so you know, what's a dependent?
Child.
Okay, but you got to be a little more clear than a child.
Like someone you're taking care of.
My God.
You have to pay more than 50% of living costs. It costs more to have a kid than the tax return does. I should clarify, they have to be human, and they have to be younger.
Someone you money more than 50%.
So you're paying for it.
Was it say someone or someone?
Someone you're paying for more than 50% of the living costs. They have to be below 18. There are exceptions. They can be up to 24
Why?
if in college.
That's the same with tax filing rate.
Uh-huh. The other thing you should know is if they are a permanent disability,
My mom said she's paying me some of the time.
okay, you guys, you know that there are people who have permanent disabilities. They'll never be able to live on their own. They'll never be independent. There's special tax laws for them. I don't know them. I'm not going to get into them today because I don't know them.
Is it diversity or consider?
Disability. Permanent disability, there's special tax laws. Okay? So that's just FYI, because I know someone's going to ask me. Okay? What happens, hey guys, what if you were married and your spouse died?
Widow.
Okay, it counts as single. Okay, so if you were widowed, that's not how you spell widowed. Let me try again.
Widow.
Yeah, I put a B at the end instead of a D and it bothered me. Okay, if you're widowed and not remarried, if you get remarried, it doesn't count. And no kids. Okay, so no dependents for this one. This is what you have to be for single. Tell me when you're ready and we'll go on to the next one.
Nate.
Okay.
Not ready. Not ready. Not ready. Gilbert says. Ready. Yeah, right.
All right, guys. The next is called head of household. of household.
Or decent, so
You guys talk a lot.
Jared's distracting me, man.
Shut up, man. Come on, learn.
Jared, why you talking so much?
Man,
Don't shut up, man.
I'm
I'm
playing
talking.
that game. I'm trying to game. Good night, man. Man, I need a
Okay.
video record. B-O-A.
B-O-A. What's in card or card?
Head of household, single/unmarried.
Oh.
I got a bingo with a free thing, dude.
That's funny.
More corny.
You okay?
Huh? They're making fun of my job.
Why?
Bingo with the It was the bingo, bingo.
But you're making money and they're not, so who cares?
Bro, we're poor. We do making good like this.
I'm being on that for
I had the casinos every Saturday. I'm making penny and bingo. And I'm gonna be a salon.
Okay, you guys, this changed in the last few years. So when I was growing up, you could be head of a household. Like, I'm single right now with no kids. I would normally be considered head of household. But about 3 years ago, they changed it, so I don't get a tax break anymore. They want me to have kids. Okay, you guys follow me? Are you head of household?
Yeah.
Are you paying more than half of all the bills that you need to live?
Yeah.
Are you paying more than half of the rent?
Yeah.
Are you paying more than half of your phone bill, car, food, etc.? If you're, most kids don't. Okay?
I pay 70%.
Who would typically fall into the, so single, what age range would usually fall in here? When do you start paying taxes? Okay. 18 to, what age do you think most people get married right now?
25, 24, 26, 28, 28, 30 because people just want to have a
You were 30 married.
I'm Googling it up.
You were 30. 24. You were married since the gray hair.
Yeah.
I'm married to Leslie. Oh.
It's telling me how old it is.
I gotta get on the way. Oh.
They're telling me how long a marriage lasts, not age.
They also got tomato town here.
Okay.
You're married to the Kenyan couple.
Are you guys, the average age of marriage in the U.S. is 25 to 30 years old.
25 to 30.
Yeah, 25 is when, guys, there's a lot of talking and it's super annoying. Can y'all shut it? I'm going to say till about 25 is normal. Head of household, typically from about 25 to whenever you have kids. Okay. Okay, the next most common one. Married filing jointly. Okay, so you're married, or it's called a common law marriage. Does anybody know what a common law marriage is? No. Common law marriage is just when you're not legally married, but you've been together 7 or more years.
Man, so what if you have a three-way relationship?
Then you're messed up.
Why you just having fun?
All right.
Because that's what Hector is right now. He was just too scared to speak up.
Ready to wake up.
Okay. What if you live apart and you're not legally separated, even if you're living separated, Guys, can you shut up?
The baby.
Okay, if your spouse died, husband or wife died during the year, and you haven't remarried, you're still the first year you still get to do married filing jointly, which saves you a ton of money. Okay, it's a much lower tax rate.
What does it say? Together 7 years?
I'm sorry, I can't write and talk at the same time, so give me a second. Okay, common law marriage is just together 7+ years. Yep. Okay, things you should know. Both spouses must sign the tax reform.
Can you slide it over to my
Yeah.
Thank you, Caesar.
the baby?
Is that better?
Yeah.
Let me make it a little bolder. Do you guys want to turn the lights off?
Yeah, man.
Let's do that.
Who's wrong?
Who's wrong what?
It's like WHOES. Is it just the apostrophe S?
I'm reading it off the tax website.
The tax website is incorrect.
Well, I'm not good enough in English to know. They actually spelled it S and then an E.
That's how you spell it?
Who's sure?
How many years is that at the top?
7 plus.
So it's like 70.
7 plus.
Oh, 7.
Okay, this category has the lowest tax rate. No, I did not say that.
Actually, yeah, that would probably work.
Maybe here.
What's the
Dearly
baby?
beloved, we are gathered here today.
Stop.
Does the marriage live on here? Does that count? Like, is that only male and female?
No, that's why I specifically say spouses. That's actually, this is one of the reasons that, I'm like, my brain is blanking. This is one of the reasons why spouses, same-sex spouses, were advocating for recognition by the federal government so that they can get the same tax breaks.
Mary Brianna.
Do you want to know why they have tax breaks for this? The reason, you guys, what would happen to our country if people all over just stopped having kids?
Who would die?
Would we have a country anymore?
Yeah. What's the last one say? Remember?
Where?
We'd be saving the plan.
Right there, on the paragraph, remain.
Where?
Above it.
Both spouses must sign?
It's above that one.
The year?
Yeah,
The year and who have not remarried.
Then, keep going.
Okay, we've got one more to do. Can we go through it? Can I turn the page? Okay. I lied. We have 2 because we have to do the widowed one. Okay, you guys. What happens? Do you guys know the number 1 reason that people get divorced? What is it? Money.
Very important. So, I'll have you know, I highlighted to get married at me.
Okay. You and Haley or you and Manny?
Oh, not this one. Not bad.
Girl. Demona. He's married to Mona.
Get married.
Lily, man.
The Mona.
the number one reason that people get divorced is actually money issues. If you do file jointly, you are responsible for both your taxes and your spouse taxes if your spouse doesn't pay. Okay? If your spouse is bad with money and they're messing you up, this might be a better option for you. Okay, so if the first thing you need to know, this is a choice. It is an option.
If the option is, that's what I would want to make it.
Good morning.
Good morning.
When am I in your class? You understand the schedule? No, I don't. Okay, so today you're going to be here. Tomorrow you're going to be with your science teacher. I don't have that. So I have August. Okay, then you'll have August. Then Thursday you'll be here again. Okay, so just Tuesday. And then on Wednesdays when we do the all schedule. Just take a picture. Your third period. Okay. Okay, you guys, you pay your taxes separately. Do you want to just pull up and you're going to need, do you have a journal? You got some notes, some paper? I can get you a journal right here. These are my secret stash of like 3 left. You can have it. That's yours. Okay? Bring this back to me. Don't do graffiti. Write your name on it, and then jump in and we'll get you going. All right, guys.
What? I thought you was going to be a restaurant. You think you might have reported me? What?
Oh my God.
I got papers. The boys, bro, the boys. Should be a restaurant.
Y'all,
I can't do this for
it's the highest tax rates. Highest tax rates. Choose this if one. Okay. Choose this if one spouse is experiencing money trouble. So the tax rates are the highest for the married filing separately. You're going to choose it so that one spouse is not responsible for the other. So if one spouse is having a lot of struggles getting, doing everything and they're, I don't know how to put that in words. I've seen a lot of couples where one couple got into, you want to turn that on down? You're good. Okay, guys. I've seen this where one member of the couple, so one spouse, got into gambling. The worst case I've seen is one of the wife owned the house. They got married later in life. The husband got into debt for more than $50,000. Okay, at that point, does it make sense for her to file taxes with him? No. She could lose the house. You follow me? Experiencing money trouble. Okay, so it's very, very hard on a family when you're going through money trouble. The last category we need to know about is widower with dependent. With dependent. Okay, so these are the things that you have to do to be able to qualify. I'm going to read it and then I'm going to write it. You are entitled to file a joint return with your spouse for the year your spouse died.
On Saturday?
Now, guys, the first year your spouse died, you file married jointly, but in year 2 and year 3, so I'm going to put quotations here because I don't want to put a year, but 2 to 3 years ago, your spouse died 2 to 3 years ago, and you did not remarry. Okay, so the first year your spouse died, during that year, you still file married jointly. Oscar, what's going on? Do you need me to read something to you?
No, I was there.
I'm just hearing noise from that table.
So you assumed it was me?
No, I just saw you leaning over and I thought you needed help, so I asked you.
Okay.
Okay, you guys. You guys got me to there? So your first year you die, your spouse died, you still do married filing jointly. In year 2 and 3, you're gonna do widower with dependent. After that, you're single. So they give you a couple of years to get your feet under you, and then you're single. So if I'm widower with dependent, what qualification have we not listed that you have to have?
Never mind. Is that what?
So widower, we've got that your spouse died. You've got that you could have done married filing jointly.
The dependent?
Dependent part. You guys got it? We're gonna draw a quick table. Okay, guys. In the year of the death, you're either going to be married all right, guys. If you were married and your spouse dies and your spouse had tons of debt, do you want to file jointly or separately?
Separately.
Good job. Okay. All right, you guys. That is it for the notes today. Yeah, it's a lot of notes, right? Okay, please take a photo of those and turn them in on Canvas.